What's going on, everybody? This is the blockchain backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Today, we're going to be talking about the XRP price chart. And in particular, when does the XRP price historically tend to rise? We all know there's a lot of narratives out there about XRP and mystical, magical fantasies about what will cause the actual price to rise. But we actually do have a lot of history here on the XRP price chart to tell us when it has previously over the course of the last decade. XRP has been trading on crypto exchanges since 2013, so we've been there for just a little bit over 10 years, and we have quite a bit of data, and we actually do see some repetitive things that actually happen here on the chart in relation to the rest of the market. I've often advocated that in order to see the price of XRP rise, we would first need to see Bitcoin rise, and we need to see the whole cryptocurrency market rise, as it does tend to rise with the rest of the market. But of course, every time we see some price action that seems to be exciting for Bitcoin or for various altcoins, as you can see over there on the right side of the screen with all that green, question is, why is there so much green in the market and XRP is down here being red today? I get that question quite often. It's one of those lack of understanding of crypto, maybe based on a belief system that is not consistent with how the crypto market has behaved before. So I'm going to show you a lot of stuff in here where we're really going to take a bigger look here at how XRP has performed, which is this purple one right here, the thick purple, in relation to the rest of the market, the timing of when price rises. We're going to talk about it in relation to the altcoin market, in relation to Bitcoin, how it's doing currently right now, and are we behaving any way unusual currently right now compared to how we have acted for the last decade. The first thing we have to address is whether or not Bitcoin is actually in a bull run. I personally don't think that decision is entirely out there yet. Of course, I've been an advocate that the price of Bitcoin is going to rise to retracement levels, but the question still remains on what will it look like after it gets to retracement levels. We can see the current price action of Bitcoin has been very similar to that of what it was like back in 2020 before the big mega run happened at the end of 2020 into 2021 when all the laser eyes, diamond hands, and Wall Street bets crowd entered in at the peak of the market. The way we're behaving right now and the way we have behaved ever since June and July into August, September, October, and November is just like 2020. And August, September, October, November, breakout continuing, November, breakout continuing. The price action is very similar to what it was like back then. But at the same time, if you've watched my YouTube channel, we've talked a lot about Bitcoin's price action, and it's unbelievably similar to what it was like in 2014, 15, and 16 once Bitcoin started recovering. For a different visual of that, as if we were like right here after 2014's fall, 2015's consolidation, 2016 spending 7 months in a range like we just did, and then escaping that range. While the price levels, price numbers may be different than what we have then, we can obviously see the incredible similarities of price behavior and peaks coming in at the same location, sometimes within hours of each other, even though they're 299 days away from each other, happening just within hours of each other, and then breaking out once again 700 days apart from each other, from peak to breakout, happening within hours of each other. And then once again, we've watched this for months. Here we go, exiting the range at the same time we exit the range from 2016. So this is still up for debate on what happens when we get to retracement levels, whether or not there's now going to be another 7 months of consolidation in here, as we had here while we were in the exciting time. You can see this was short-lived and then did consolidate in this range again, just as we just got done consolidating in a range right now. It's as if we're stepping up to a new range, and then a range continued for another 6+ months. So with this incredible similarity of price action and recovery happening here for Bitcoin, that debate still exists right now. Whether we're still just doing 2016, this is a range breakout, and we're going to consolidate on top of this range for the next 6 months, or if we are in an actual real breakout to go into excitement, then into euphoria, and then that's when, again, the laser eyes, diamond hands crowd comes back again. In order for significant price rises to happen for XRP, this would likely need to be the scenario that the market is playing out right now, because that event is what also triggered more risk taking in the market, more altcoin pumps to happen in the market. And we watched just a broader market rally happen once that occurred back in 2020. And all historical price action of XRP shows its correlation to the rest of the cryptocurrency market when it comes to any type of bull run. We are all familiar with the 2017 bull run. Essentially, every chart on the universe, when it creates how high is the XRP price going to go, it is always copying and pasting the 2017 bull run to say that's where we're going. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying everybody should know this price action, this bull run. It's the most famous bull run for XRP in its entire history. But the thing about this bull run is it does also occur with the rest of the cryptocurrency market at the same time, and so does this one. And these are not baby percentages we're talking about in here. That is a 7,500% price run, and then this one right here is another 15, give or take napkin math. But what's blatantly clear about those runs that happen in there for XRP is that they are actually occurring at precisely the same time the rest of the market is taking off. This is Bitcoin breaking out into a new all-time high. You've got all altcoins going on major runs right here at this exact same time that XRP is. It is not an isolated event to utility or news narrative in any way. It is totally in correlation with the rest of the market. None of these assets on the screen here are struggling. Everybody's riding the wave. And up here, you've got Bitcoin at the very top. And then right below here, we've got the altcoin market cap. So we can see the altcoin market cap is absolutely crushing it during this time, along with Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, Dash, Stellar Lumens, and the list goes on. Everybody's rocking and rolling during this time period where XRP is surging in here, during this bull run right here in 2017. But then we move over to this bull run, which looks more majestic when we take us off of log scale here to recall. Pretty impressive, 1,500% in 23 days. This also occurs when the rest of the market is rocking to the upside at the exact same time. All assets on absolute tears into the retracement of Bitcoin in 2017 and 18. These are the two biggest bull run examples that we have for XRP, and they've only happened with the rest of the market. We do have a bull run from back in 2013 for XRP, which is right here, but we can even see that bull run, this one right here, the first one we always see on this chart before that most famous bull run comes, this one. It also occurs with the rest of the market. It is not an isolated event. It happens here with the Pico top of Bitcoin. Every single asset is ripping to the upside here, XRP included. And XRP, not an isolated event. It is totally with the rest of the market. Then we see price action of XRP, dark purple again, just really behaving as the rest of the market is behaving in here. Every price rip, every price dip, they're all just happening the same here for the years on after the big bull run, where again, they all acted the same together, XRP acting the same together, C19 sell-offs, all the same, right? The only time we act different in here is really when the SEC sued Ripple and declared XRP a security, and every exchange delisted XRP. At this point, this is where the rest of the market begins to rip. This is the beginning of the bull run. This is the beginning of Bitcoin breaking out into its new all-time high, and every asset begins its tear to the upside. The SEC picked that particular time, 5 days after Bitcoin broke its all-time high, and the whole market starts ripping. That's when they did decide to do it. However, even afterwards, we do see that XRP did eventually pick things up off the floor, return back, and still behave with the rest of the market, and peaked there on the day of Coinbase's IPO, and where the vast majority of assets did peak. Most assets peaked in April and May of 2021. You can see that on this whole list here. Which ones don't we have? Ethereum and Bitcoin on here. We know there's various other ones, but you could see the remainder of these do not. They all peak in April and May. But once again, price is behaving with the market. And then look over here, we're continuing to behave with the market. So it's like, okay, price is starting to move over there on Bitcoin. It seems like we're seeing some altcoins move. You see all that stuff over there on the right side of the screen. There's green everywhere. You see everybody cheering about Solana. If Bitcoin's breaking to the upside, why aren't we seeing any significant price action over there in XRP? Now, veterans know this. They've been through this a million times, but I do think we just have a lot of people who haven't really gone through this rodeo before to understand how it works. In order to get a straight line up like this and have a bull run of insanity, It happens because you're compressed, you're coiled, the rest of the market is overvalued, you're undervalued, and you catch up very quickly. XRP does not have a tendency to do beautiful little grinds to make you feel comfortable the whole way up. It very much has a tendency to go very, very quickly whenever it decides that it's time to go. But we have these markers to show where it does tend to occur at, and it tends to occur with Bitcoin, with the altcoin market. If we were to assume we were here right now, if this was the same scenario, everything's behaving exactly the same right now, and we're working on our way for 2020's rock and roll scenario. Again, we do not know if this is just 2016 or something completely different, but even if it was this, and we just said, we're doing 2020, we're about to rock for the next 4 to 5 months, how did the altcoin market do during that moment? And in particular, how did XRP do during that particular moment? And what you can see in here is once this level was escaped, still, total 3, the altcoin market had not left the range that it had been stuck in for several months prior. It took a little more time for it to finally end up breaking out and really getting going. If we look at that compared to right now, how are we doing right now? We could see here's the start of that range for April, here for total 3. And we can see total 3 just now starting to poke its head out here a little bit after Bitcoin has now stepped up another level. As we know, Bitcoin had to step up another level, and then we see total 3 start to go, then eventually rampage. But total 3 was not rampaging in here or even at this moment yet. It was shortly after breaking out of the high, but you can clearly see it was delayed about 2 weeks. What about XRP? It as well was about 2 weeks behind that moment. We know it was just 2 days ago that we got that break right over here, but it was still 2 weeks before XRP could even break out and go. So being a little delayed is very normal. But the leading indicator of Bitcoin breaking out and liquidity pouring into the market and excitement coming into the market led the way for the altcoin market, led the way for XRP to eventually go. And what does it do over the course of 1, 2, 3 days? It goes from 30 cents to 70 cents. Again, that normal XRP price behavior where it all goes really, really quickly. What about the rest of the market? Ethereum, Chainlink, Litecoin, Cardano, them too, right? The breakouts happen. These assets have a tendency to grind a little bit more, but XRP stays behind, breaks out. So is that pretty normal? Is it pretty normal to see Bitcoin lead the way and then XRP just does some big catch up? And I'm always hearing it. If Bitcoin's breaking up, why isn't XRP going? And I don't think there's just an understanding of the history of XRP and how bad it's even been, that what we're experiencing right now isn't that bad. And I'll show you that here in a second. If anything, we're actually kind of like, we've gotten the same amount of percentages as Bitcoin has. But what I'll show you is like, it has actually been really bad before. And that's really just if you go back to these bull runs and understand what had happened in here, that XRP stayed down here at these lows this whole time. Here's the peak of that bull run in 2013. Here's XRP. Here it is way down here. Here's that moment we're talking about right now for Bitcoin if it was 2016. But even then, it works all the way up to the all-time high. We're talking Bitcoin in a 3-year bear market from peak back to peak, breaking into new all-time high. Look where XRP is. I mean, XRP at this point, it's still down like 88, 90% from the all-time high when Bitcoin's breaking into the new all-time high. What happens? Bitcoin touches its all-time high. XRP is like, okay, and then gone, right? But imagine living in that scenario. Think about that for 1 second. Bitcoin goes all the way back up to the all-time high. XRP is down 90%. Okay? That's normal behavior. I mean, that's just what happened then. Then eventually, boom, the big run ends up happening. But this is an important moment to pay attention to as well right here. So this is where XRP does those major runs. It's absolutely euphoric and it's crazy, right? Before we get to this one. But understanding what actually happened right here, because this is where the real torture actually came in for XRP at this point. I'll show this to you right here. At this point, Bitcoin is continuing to rampage, and we'll put it like this, right? So you could see that XRP peaks over here on May 17th of 2017. At that time, Bitcoin's price sits in here at $1,750. XRP peaks, and Bitcoin continues to grind all the way up. From the day of XRP's peak, Bitcoin had risen up here just by December 7th, had risen another 785%. At that time, XRP was still down 50% from its previous all-time high. XRP did not take off until here. Now imagine that scenario. So if you're living in the day-to-day right now and you're saying, hey, Bitcoin's breaking out, this move is happening here these last couple of days, why isn't XRP doing anything today when Bitcoin is up or the altcoin market is up? Imagine living through that, because I was here for that. I was buying XRP during that time. It was brutal. We're talking June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Bitcoin keeps rampaging to $16,000. XRP is still 50% below the previous high that was set back in May. Can you imagine that? You're watching Bitcoiners all over the place screaming, pumping their fists. They're up 800%. You're down 50%. That is what happened with XRP. This bull run is utterly glorified as like the best thing that ever happened. But the thing that's not talked about is what the pain was like in this moment leading up to it. It was brutal. It was really bad. And while we see it on the chart, when we look at it like this and we say they all move together, they all move together, we can also see when we get into that nitty gritty of the exact timing of when they occur, especially for XRP, that there could be some pain involved in there. But really right now, there's actually not a tremendous amount of pain. And I wanted to point that out as we were just talking about how the total altcoin market cap, total 3, breaks out of the range over here after Bitcoin had broken out of its range, right? So Bitcoin breaks out, moves up, altcoin market gets above the range, then XRP goes. What do we see? We see Bitcoin breaks out, gets above the range, altcoin market now leaving the range. XRP actually even kind of got out of there ahead of time. I think the thing that we think of is like when we had that SEC victory that happened in there was not enough strength in this market for that price to continue sustaining itself, because this is the mandatory condition of the market for XRP. Price moves back in, gets itself exactly back in line with the rest of the market where it should have been, and then goes back to being correlated to the rest of the market all over again. Look at this move with total 3. It's the same thing. We're just moving with the market. But then XRP goes up and even exceeds where Bitcoin is. It happens so rapidly, it happens so fast that we gain over 40% in a matter of 2 weeks. We get that dopamine hit. We get all excited. We feel good. Bitcoin continues to march up one more level. Wait a minute. Why isn't XRP doing anything? Right? But this is all a big rotational play and a rotational game. And some things will lead and some things will lag, and new conditions will get met, and the price will continue to rise. And while I don't even think we're really that far off here on XRP right now, in relation to that range and in relation to where we are with where Bitcoin is and where total 3 is, but even so, total 3 getting out of there eventually was a good sign for XRP to keep going. Because I can zoom this in. I can put it more like that. They could see the real price explosion happened once total 3 got out. You could see Bitcoin going. You could see it continuing to go. Then total 3 got out. It like backtested the top of the range, and then XRP went with it, right? And I'm not saying that's the timing of what's going to happen right now, but it's very clear in here. You could see the delay. But the move up in Bitcoin was the thing that was positive for price action to inevitably come. And right now, total 3 is starting to break from that range. And XRP's price isn't really that far behind and has already escaped that range right now. And obviously, this is an extreme event happening right here where it's so many months delayed, but it's also not the only time that it ends up happening. As even when Bitcoin completely recovered 2014, 15, and 16, it did the exact same thing. And even that finale move there in 2021 into April, it happens right here. It starts April 4th, ends April 14th. Bitcoin rallies all the way up. XRP still sitting below November of 2020, right? Pre-SEC stuff, right? 10-day pump right up to the peak of Bitcoin, right up to the IPO of Coinbase. So the point of why we're showing this is, right, not all assets act like this. Not all of them have this huge track record of like staying suppressed and then big explosions happening in their price like XRP has. It has a huge tendency to have these big explosions in price. But most times when the explosions are that aggressive, they're preempted by the rest of the market getting a bigger lead. Will that price behavior continue for forever? Who knows? But what you do see is that it moves with the rest of the cryptocurrency market. However, does it move on a literal day-to-day basis? No. Do big bull runs happen when the bull runs are happening in the rest of the market? Definitely. Happens with the rest of the market. It's undisputable, undeniable, unequivocal proof. The bull runs only occur with the rest of the market. They only occur with bullish Bitcoin, bullish altcoin market. Does it have a history of being fashionably late to the party? Yeah, like every time. And if you don't know that track record about XRP and that's how it's always behaved, I think it's good to have an idea about it. It's one of those reasons why like XRP is my largest bag that I have, but it's not my only bag. You guys hear me be critical of Bitcoin all the time, but it's my number 2 holding, right? You know, I have pluses and minuses when it comes to Ethereum, but it's my 3rd biggest bag. And it's because I've dove into these charts so many times that I can see the ebb and flow of the market and that there's leaders, there's laggards, everything moves together. But when you get microscopic on it and you look at it from a much closer perspective, you could see that some stuff can start early before that does, or before Litecoin. You could see Litecoin still trekking along here, totally boring dingus style. Meanwhile, down here, you've already got big runs happening down here for things like Zcash, Dogecoin, Siacoin, and Dash. It's all one big trade here when we zoom out and look at it all to see that. But when you get really minuscule on it, you will see there are leaders, there are laggards. That this bull run is cranking here in the altcoin market, and that Ethereum is rocking. And to understand, the whole market moves up together, but not day to day, right? The whole broader liquidity injection happens together. The whole market goes, XRP goes with it. And if you're crying over a day of Bitcoin moving up and why isn't XRP moving up while Bitcoin's moving up today or other altcoins are moving up today, it's having that bigger picture of what's going on in the market. Bitcoin's moving up. The altcoins are moving up. Those are all good things when you recognize what the big picture of the market is. I don't know if there will be some big, massive delay of XRP from the rest of the market like there has before. I don't see any signs of that happening. I mean, you know, the signs of that happening would be if the market like rampages all-time highs and XRP doesn't go with it. I don't see any signs of it not moving with the market right now, right? I don't see that. But when people do say, if Bitcoin's moving up, why isn't XRP moving up? Well, you know, why was Bitcoin just chilling in here, not moving up and just running flat, but XRP was rampaging the whole time, right? There's lots of rotations that happen in here. It's always been a market of just like one big trade, but you look for those positive signs emerging in there. And those things are going to be Bitcoin moving up. It's going to be tons of green over there in the altcoin market. Those are all great things. So I hope that open your eyes a little bit if you haven't seen that before. It's one reason I can stay calm in all of it when it comes to XRP, because I know like all of history shows it that eventually, like whenever something comes, whenever like a big day does happen and it's going to be majestic and magical, it's going to be like it always is. It's super quick. It's over in a heartbeat, and everybody is hooting and hollering and screaming and wanting more. But it's not going to last long, right? It always just is super, super quick. It's not an asset that's going to give you sweet little love taps and little hugs along the way to just grind real slowly. That's just never been how this asset has been. You could study 10 years of price action to see that's not what it does. It has a tendency to just run sideways, be boring, be torturous, and then eventually the big euphoric moments happen for it. That's why, you know, flip the switch is like such a popular name if you don't know that, because you know, it runs the good narrative of it that every time big price action has happened for XRP, it's always so rapid, it's so crazy that it's almost like somebody flipped a switch on. So it's like a meme, but people don't treat it like a meme, right? Every bullish move in here, they're always just rapid as can be. They are never grindy like Bitcoin tends to do. So, all right. I hope that opened your eyes a little bit over there to XRP's price behavior and its correlation to the rest of the market, giving you a bigger picture to look at rather than the day-to-day. Because if you think the day-to-day is going to matter in an upward trajectory, you can find yourself quite a bit disappointed. So I hope that helped. And hopefully right now we are entering into an exciting phase of the market. We still have to wait for the market to prove that to be true, whether it's 2016 or very similar to 2020 or just a retracement. But even right now, in this time period currently right now, you could see there is absolutely nothing different about XRP's price behavior with the rest of the market currently. And still, again, it's just the same thing. And XRP is acting no different than the rest. So there you have it, a little bit of price history for the XRP price chart to understand how it has behaved in relation to the rest of the market, that typically its big price moves do occur with the rest of the market. However, getting a better understanding of the day-to-day ebb and flow of the market, that not everything goes up every day, not everything goes down every day. When you're in an upward trajectory, there's tons of liquidity just sloshing all around markets, from what's hot today to what's hot tomorrow to what's hot the next day, all just going back and forth and back and forth. But on a big enough time frame, you could see they all go the same trajectory at the same time together. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that put things into perspective. We used to make videos like this all the time. Maybe it's time to get back into those types of things. So if you liked this video, hit the thumbs up. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and start going through the wrap up of this video. If you're looking for something to do this weekend, you can of course check out my website over here, which is bcbacker.com. It's over 40 videos and over 11 hours of content teaching you how to set up your own charts and indicators within TradingView and CoinTrader Pro. But also we go through a lot of historical behavior of the cryptocurrency market to have an understanding of how this market has worked in the past. There's tons of additional content in here, also talking about, crowd behavior, meme coin mania, and emotional management, along with discussing things like research that helped improve odds, talking about like the developer data and how that impacted price performance. But teaching you about Elliott waves, Wyckoff method, different patterns and different indicators all throughout here. It's $39 one time, no recurring fees, no subscriptions for this thing. 40 videos with 11 hours of content over here on bcbacker.com. I do have a subscription-based newsletter over here, a premium newsletter on blockchainbacker.substack.com. The most recent one was about the altcoin market and about developer data, comparing the assets of 2020 to 2021, looking at the ones that were top 20 by market cap versus top 20 by developer data to see how they performed against each other. Turns out the developer data group was much stronger from a performance standpoint, percentage standpoint. There's a 30-minute audio voiceover that I personally recorded in here. If you'd like to listen to me read the newsletter and go through the charts, along with a whole long write-up in here. That's available at blockchainbacker.substack.com. There are links in the description of this video to bcbacker.com and to blockchainbacker.substack.com in the description of this video and the description of all of my videos and live streams. Otherwise, guys, I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. Starting the weekend off with a video released early in the morning. Hope you get some good relaxation and happy Veterans Day. But all right, guys, that's going to be it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.